Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions exclusive second half coverage is brought to you by Nissan and your local Nissan dealers, builders of quality cars for over 50 years. For quality and value, the name is Nissan. By Wachovia. When you want one person who can help you with all your banking needs, you have a personal banker at Wachovia. By Amoco Premium Lead-Free. Amoco, your car knows. By the Jefferson Pilot Companies, helping to put a brighter face on the future. By Coors, the beer with the difference worth tasting. Coors is the one. And by Delta, the airline of ACC country. Delta gets you there. 30 first-half points here at homecoming at Clemson, South Carolina, and Virginia has 17 of the 30. Here are the stats at halftime. And the total offense only 7 yards apart, Ken. It's certainly been a very even game in all departments.
Well, it has been even. Of course, the two big plays by Virginia, the two long passes that probably shouldn't have been called had the defensive back been back in his position playing. But nevertheless, that's part of the game, and a big part of that rushing yardage that Clemson has was that end around that Terrence Rulock ran, and of course that was a big play for them.
See yards passing, Clemson with 50, Virginia with 113. Mikowski was hot early, hit his first 5, had a couple of touchdown passes in there, and the first one that you're going to see came to his flanker back, Quanah Bullock, and it was a bomb where Bullock just had the defender beaten by 5 yards.
Well, I don't know exactly what Delton Hall was thinking about at this point, but Bullock ran a little sideline pattern, turned up the field, and as you can see, Hall was trailing him, and he is a world champion sprinter, so he should have been back. And of course, Joel Dempsey gets again on the board for the Cavaliers simply by sneaking again behind who else? Delton Hall. Makes the catch. Hall tries to turn and break it up. It goes through his hands. Dempsey merely has to turn to waltz into the end zone.
And Dempsey, starting for the injured Geno Zimmerlink, gets the first touchdown of his career. He had only caught one pass coming in. And here is this great reverse to Rulock.
One of the great plays in college football. Underneath reverse to Rulock. And there we have Litton out there looking for somebody to hit, just begging somebody to come close. And, of course, Curtis Turner finally arriving on the scene too late.
So that's how we get up to a 17-13 score. Both place kickers had good afternoon. And George Welsh looking for his 4th victory of the season.
And also to get off the homecoming list.
That's right.
I don't think if he wins this ball game, he'll be invited to the prom. I don't know.
You know when your program is not going real well, where every time you look down your schedule, you're homecoming for everybody.
Things are bad when you're homecoming.
The Tigers have acquitted themselves very well here in the first half. Only one turnover. That was an interception on a tip pass. And they have been fumble prone so far here this year, and it has really hurt them. And today they have not fumbled it away. Adobare Adarubio will kick it away, and he has boomed of his kickoffs. One went almost out of the stadium. He knocked it clean over the fence into the stand. 3-time soccer All-American. Bombs this one, and Malcolm Pittman can't get to it. It's over the end line, out of bounds, and Virginia will start from the 20 again. Ken, that is some weapon when you know that every time you kick off, the other guys are going to start from the 20.
Well, you're exactly right. You know, in fact, it could be a bigger weapon if they could teach them to get a little bit more height on it. If you can hang the ball like that and get that kickoff team down, as we said earlier, you've got even a bigger weapon. I'd like for them to catch it on about the two yards into the end zone and get them to run it out.
A couple of the Clemson players turned around trying to get the fans into it. Mikowski will come out and give it to his fullback, Morgan, to about the 23-yard line. Steve Berlin again in on the tackle. He's been in on 4 or 5 in the first half.
I think they've brought Kevin Morgan along very well. By the way, earlier in the broadcast, I said he was from Richmond, Virginia. He's actually from Dinwiddie, Virginia, which is about 15 miles outside of Richmond. And I know those fine people in Dinwiddie have a lot of pride that Kevin Morgan is from their hometown, and I want to make that known.
He got 3 yards on that one. It's 2nd and 7. Tight end is Lewis in motion. Mikowski on the option. He's kept it almost every time he's run that option, and a big gainer here, almost to the 45-yard line. Tackle had to be made by the free safety, A.J. Johnson. And Mikowski just not challenged anywhere. Now, Clemson is playing this well, but what do they do on this play?
Well, Terrence Mack gets himself too far upfield and opens up too big a hole, and the great block on Henry Walls allows Makowski to get downfield. So we got two situations. Terrence Mack goes too far up, opens up a big hole, and of course Walls gets wiped out.
48 yards on the ground from Makowski. The ball spotted at the 44, first down Cavaliers. Howard Petty, the tailback. Thrown down by Delton Hall. Got maybe a yard. Petty 7 carries and 20 yards on the afternoon. They bottled up this Virginia ground game really well as far as a yardage standpoint.
Absolutely. The running backs have not really done that much. But again, it makes no difference who does it. If Makowski can get out there and pick up that yardage, I think Virginia's going to be very happy to do that.
Virginia averaging 264.5 yards a game on the ground. 10th in the nation in rushing, 24th in the nation in total offense. Second down, 8 yards to go. Makowski again, the quick out. This one may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. It came out nose down, intended for Quanah Bullock. And Perry is acting like he may have gotten a hand on it. If he did, that was the second one this game.
Well, you need to wave your arms because the camera may not have picked that up. And if you don't get it picked up, you better let the coaches know that. And here we get a chance to look at it. Just a little hitch pattern. Again, Michael Dean Perry, a big kid. Look at the hands. He gets up. He times himself well. He can play.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Makowski, deep sideline this time. Quanah Bullock couldn't get it. And it was knocked away by Perry Williams. That's the second big play he's made on pass defense.
That is a big league play. Keith Williams, Steve Berlin, right in Makowski's face. And look at the outstretched arms of Perry Williams.
6'2" junior got his hands on it, and all at once, the Clemson defense is equal to the task. They started doing this late in the second quarter, and Jeff Walker will kick it away to Steve Griffin.
That's a good point, Mike. They really did turn that defensive around in the second half.
Walker, beautiful, booming kick. Griffin lets this one go over his head, hits it to one and goes into the end zone. The young man is not going to make the same mistake he did in the first half, backpedal and take it for 3. There is a timeout on the field with 13:19 to go. Third period of play from Clemson. It's Virginia 17, the Tigers 13. 78,000 fans trying to whoop it up for Clemson. The Tigers are down by 4, and they have the ball early in the third quarter. George Welsh probably very concerned. His offense has not been able to move the ball the last 3 or 4 times they have had it. Let's check the quarterback in. It's Williams back in. The freshman gives it to his fullback, Chris Lancaster, a freshman from Mableton, Georgia. And as far as we know, Lancaster has not played at all this year.
Now they are really emptying the bench. Now Rodney Williams is back in the ballgame, which tells you that probably Coach Ford thought that Randy Anderson was a little bit better threat at throwing the ball long. McDaniel and Swan make that tackle. Pretty good run. Should have kept his head up. Ran into the back of his blockers.
2nd and 5. They'll run the option. That was actually a forward toss. I think if that ball had gotten loose, it would have been ruled a pass.
Unusual. They ran that option play a little bit different. Of course, you watch the quarterback. He holds up and really gives his back time to get in front of him. Takes a little stutter step. Then he comes really almost upfield. Now watch. He lets his back get in front. Now he's upfield. And he pitches the ball really with his back, who's already got enough flowers in front of him. It's almost a pass, Mark.
I don't know if that'll be reflected in the stats, but that is a pass. If the ball is not going a lateral motion or backwards, it is a forward pass, whether it's thrown underhand or not. Curtis Turner limping off the field, the sophomore from Evington, Virginia. He plays the quick cornerback spot, and he's limping off. They're still calling that a run on the official stats. 9 carries, 39 yards for Flowers.
Now that's a close run.
Yeah.
It's a shovel pass. That's exactly what it looks like, a shovel pass.
Well, it appeared that Kenny Flowers broke up field very quickly on that. He may have seen a hole.
You know,
decided to take it.
You're exactly right. There is a tendency when you run that play as a running back, you really get antsy when you turn that corner and you see that big hole, you want to take up field.
1st and 10, Tigers at their own 39. Flowers got a good lead block. 50, 45, 44 yard line. And it took Charles McDaniel, the linebacker, to chase him down. Got a good block from Tracy Johnson, his fullback, and also an excellent block from John Phillips.
Watch John Phillips, number 61 on Charles McDaniel. Watch John Phillips. He takes McDaniel and turns him back inside. He can't get to him. A little holding there. You notice on the back of the jersey. But do you think Kenny Flowers is concerned? Because he's got 4.3 speed and he's gone.
Hey, everybody holds that much on every play.
Everybody's got to be someplace sometime.
First and 10, Clemson, Virginia 44. Flowers got outside. Lost his balance, or he may have had 5 or 10 more, but he gets to the Cavalier 35-yard line. Gould and Ryan Jackson had to knock him out of bounds.
We've talked a lot about Flowers' speed. He looks like he was losing his legs on that run, and sometimes you can get so excited when you come out for the first half or the beginning of the second half that you make one good run, and all of a sudden you're totally winded. Now here he goes. He looks like he starts to slip. He picks up himself. He gets back out again. He starts to make it again, and it looks like his legs just give out on him.
Second and 1, and Driver will come in at tailback. He has the ball and the first down to the Virginia 32 or maybe even the 31-yard line. McDaniel again on the tackle. The senior from Fredericksburg doing yeoman duty. This is really one of the few times today that you've really heard the Clemson fans in this game.
Well, this is a normal thing at Clemson. Of course, they're used to winning. They're used to being favored, and they're used to being on top. This is an unusual situation, as we talked at the top of the game. I like Stacy Driver in there for one reason. Boy, he makes things happen.
You saw Flowers on the sideline with his helmet off. I think he just beat him. Sideline complete. Nice pass to Rulock. Out of bounds inside the 20. Ryan Jackson with him, but Rodney Williams pass right on the money.
Rodney Williams showing he can throw that football. Now he's got Ryan Jackson on a man-for-man protection. Ryan Jackson is giving too much room. A little rollout, set up. We got better pass protection. Now he has to throw a long way. Terrence Rulock, a great football player. Jackson comes up to make the hit.
Threw a tight spiral to him that time. First and 10, Tigers. Inside the Virginia 20. Fullback plunge and staying on his feet as Chris Lancaster. Rayotis Perkins had a hold and would not let go.
I'd be awfully tempted to get Kenny Flowers in there at fullback. He started all of last year at fullback. I think he's really a prototype-looking fullback. I don't know whether he can block. Possibly that's the problem. But I'd sure like to see his running ability in there with Driver.
Well, he and Driver started at those spots all last year together.
You know, in the old days, Clemson was noted for its huge fullbacks.
Second and 9. Driver cuts it back inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line, and Russ Swan made the stop. One thing that's been interesting about Virginia's defense today, the front 5 have not made very many stops at all. Sean Scott had a couple early in the first quarter, but outside of that, it's been the secondary and those big linebackers.
I think it probably says something about that offensive line of Clemson. Clemson has been really, people have been down on them in the offensive line, and these guys have got to start feeling the pressure now. A good addition. That John Phillips, that 6'5", 245-pound sophomore, has done a great job in there.
Big play here, 3rd and 6. Delay, Driver. Nowhere to go, and still got some yardage out of it to the 10. A flag is down. And I think they're going to call Ray Williams for a hold or a clip. The official made a point of walking over and picking up that flag and almost laying it on his head.
Well, I tell you, I'd have picked up that flag and put it in my pants or something.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd have forgotten about it. That was a clip. He walked over and dropped it right on his helmet.
Yeah. Preliminary indication is a clip, and once again, Clemson goes so long without making an error, and then they get down in scoring territory, and this is a big one.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't like the play call. I'd like to see him go for that first down or go for that touchdown down there. He got 3rd down.
Clipping, offensive team, still 3rd down, repeat.
But now it's 3rd down and 21.
Now they get a chance to throw the football like I wish they had done in the play before.
They're down by 4. Waiting on the sideline is David Treadwell, and there's the 5th penalty against the Tigers for 39 yards. And they have seemed to come at critical time, either on offense or defense.
They've talked a lot about this young Cavalier defense, but they are playing well.
Rodney Williams, the freshman quarterback. Here's the reverse this time to Williams. He wants to throw, but he's being chased by Sean Scott. Gets it off.
Oh, my goodness.
To Rulock.
I can't believe it.
How could Rulock be that wide open? The play took 15 seconds, and Ray Williams did everything he had to do to get away from the Virginia defense and then unload it.
We have have to look at the replay, but the Virginia defensive back simply went to sleep. He lost track of him when Rulak started to look like he was going to run the football. He came back up after him, and I'll tell you, the play took 10 seconds to 15 seconds to get off, and he still threw it over his head.
And boy, does Ray Williams have to feel good. Remember, he's the kid who made the clip that sent him back to third in 20-something.
Oh, my goodness. You could tell Rulak was going to throw the football as soon as he picked it up.
Treadwell, who is perfect this year in conversions, comes on to end the ball. And does. And the Clemson Tigers have jumped on top in the third quarter, 20-17. Ken Willard, that's 2 trick plays they've scored on.
We'll try to make some sense out of this play, but you can see it coming. It's a reverse of what happened earlier. The pitch to Rulak. Now he's going to throw the ball right from where it goes. Sean Scott's out on him and trying to catch up with him. Now this play is going on, and the defensive man is back there. There's Ryan Jackson, who actually comes toward the line of scrimmage. Why he did it, I don't know.
Timeout with 9:23 to go in the quarter. Clemson by 3. Back after this from your local ACC station. Waving at us just a minute ago. He was the one who caught the touchdown pass from Ray Williams. You were mentioning, I'm sorry, Ken, go ahead.
I was going to say he would not be a thespian. You can tell he's never taken acting lessons, because as soon as he picked up the ball, he was almost giving everybody signs that he was going to throw. There we see our scoring drive, 9 plays, 80 yards, of course, 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Ray Williams redeeming himself after that clip and catching that touchdown pass. By the way, he's used to being in tight situations. He's a lifetime 300 hitter for the Clemson baseball team. He doesn't go to spring practice, so he has to make up for it in the fall.
What he did in high school, he stole 113 bases out of 115 attempts. Vince Coleman would like that.
It's amazing he's here playing football. It's a wonder he's not at some major league or minor league camp.
Otto Rubio will kick it off again. And the Cavaliers, almost as a matter of procedure, will send their 2 deep. Pittman is back there. Nobody's had a chance to run one back. They might on this one. Pittman, 2 yards deep, and they'll bring it out. A big hole up the middle, just tripped as he reached the 25. That's a 27-yard kickoff return. Matt Riggs just got him around the ankle.
That was the ideal kickoff. If you're a defensive team, you would love to see that 2 yards into the end zone every time. You need better kick coverage than that.
Cardinals on top of the Dodgers, 4-0 second inning. And the Redbirds had to get it rolling after dropping 2 straight in Los Angeles. Now we'll see if the Virginia offense can pick it up again. They've done nothing since midway through the second quarter. That's Dempsey in motion. They'll give it to Barry Word, the tailback. Word up to about the 32-yard line. Picked up maybe 6 on that play. Keith Williams, the tackle, along with A.J. Johnson.
If you're a tailback, who are you going to follow? Look at number 73, Jim Dombrowski. Barry Word is always seeking Dombrowski out because he knows where that big hitter is. That's 295 pounds, folks, and he is a great football player.
Got a good block in there, too, from 76, Steve Carricker, who's a 256-pound senior. Gain of 8, so it's 2nd and 2, a long 2. Dombrowski, a little reverse option. Well, not going to be anything there, and just dragging him back by the jersey is Henry Walls. Really like Walls as a linebacker.
He's very active. He's like all of the Clemson linebackers traditionally. Now, the person that made this play, he got a real penetration by Dwayne Walker, who comes up. Dwayne Walker almost gets Mikowski back there. By the time you alter that course of the quarterback, you got Prowlis brings up a crucial 3rd and 2 situation.
Virginia with the ball at its own 32-yard line. The Clemson defense trying to dig in. Morgan, oh yeah, first down easily. And we had a clip right in front of one official who missed it, and another official came in and threw the flag. Sometimes you have to wonder, right in front of him, and the second official really had his eye open for it and made the call.
You wonder how one official can reach into his pocket and throw a flag, and the other official will be sitting there looking at the play and not throw the flag on it.
We had great camera work on it. It was right in front of him.
Kevin Morgan, the big fullback from Dinwiddie, Virginia, had the first down. Looks like he's still a little tentative running from that fullback position, but I guarantee you, folks, he's going to be one of the great football players in Virginia history.
Clifton on the Defensive team, repeat, third down.
Now here he makes a great move in getting outside, and we'll see the clip here. Oh, a dead push in the back. My goodness. That's Quanah Bullock,
right,
who makes that.
There's just no sense to try to make that block at all. So it's 3rd and 12. Makowski, nice pass over the middle to John Muha. First down, 40-yard line. Muha is his possession receiver, especially with Gino Zimmerlink, the tight end, out injured.
The thing is, John Muha may not be playing as much if John Ford were playing, but he's had a great 2 or 3 games. 5 passes last week. Look at the turn in. Great concentration. He makes a reception. The senior, 6'4", 198 pounds.
1st and 10, Cavaliers. This is Morgan. 44-yard line.
Coaching
Delton
point.
Hall made the stop.
Coaching point to Kevin Morgan. He's got to turn it up. He's got to turn it upfield. He's going sideways. There's no way in the world that a football player, a fullback with the size of Kevin Morgan. Here we see that Redskin play. They bring the guard and attacker. Now look at him. He keeps himself going sideways. He's got no power going sideways, but I promise you, he's got a lot of power going forward.
Gained 128 yards on 19 carries last week. 2nd and 6 here. Makowski to throw. Perry chasing him. Berlin chasing him. And Perry got it. Michael Dean Perry tripped up Makowski. That was the 2nd crack he had on him on that play.
Well, Michael Dean Perry is quite a football player. Hurt most of the year. Steve Berlin is in there also putting pressure on him. Don Makowski, the class quarterback in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Not many people catch him behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. Big possession for Virginia. They are down 20-17 at their own 42. 4-man rush over the middle. That one was tipped, and tipped by Keith Williams. Throwing for Quanah Bullock over the middle.
Why do they call it Death Valley? If you can hear the people in these stands, the 80,000 people or 76,000, Keith Williams gets up and makes a great play.
Boy, that was a beautiful pass, too. That was dead on the target for Quanah Bullock.
Absolutely. You've got 12 players right now. These stands are now in this ball game.
Now Jeff Walker will have to come on and punt for the 5th time, and Virginia's offense just not doing anything anymore against the Clemson fired-up defense.
When you're playing down here, you talk a lot to your ball club about not letting the fans get in the game.
Almost blocked, and Griffin will take it at the 22-yard line. Fair catch. Timeout, 6:01 to go, 3rd quarter. Our score is Clemson 20 and Virginia 17. 6:01 left, 3rd quarter. Clemson by 3, 20-17. The Tigers trailed 17-13 at the half. Clemson has the football back to their own 22-yard line. Ken, it's amazing the way that Clemson defense, that young defense, has shut them down.
Well, they have played very, very well. We're looking at the turnovers in the ball games to date. You look at the last week, they had 7 turnovers versus Kentucky. Now they've got 1 turnover today.
Williams has to keep it. Gets to the 26-yard line. Billy Keys, the left tackle out there, chased him down.
They'll call Rodney Williams a lot of things, but they won't call him a great runner on that rollout. Yeah, the turnover situation is so crucial for this ball club. Remember, we said earlier in the broadcast, they've had 18 in their previous 4 games, only 1 today.
2nd down, 6 yards to go for the Tigers. They'll give it to Driver, and Driver was tripped up as he hit the line of scrimmage with Scott Matheson, the nose guard.
We talked to Dan yesterday, Coach Ford, and we said, how do you coach against miscues and how do you coach against fumbled balls? And he said, you just keep emphasizing it. You keep pumping it in. You make repetition. And I guess it might be paying off.
Right now, you have to wonder if it's going through the Cavaliers players' minds, that 24-0 streak in this series. Driver trying to get the first down. Looks like they've stopped him about a yard shy of it. And it will bring up 4th and 1.
This is no time to play close to the vest with this great Virginia ball club. And this is a great Virginia ball club. And
There you saw a sign, Rodney Williams as a leader.
Rodney.
He's saying it's a foot. It's about a yard and a half.
Guess what class he is? Freshman.
That's right. So they'll go with the punt. Cooler heads prevail, and Andy Newell will punt it out of there to Chris Warren, the freshman.
Not a good punt.
This one is high and very short, and one of the up men will make a fair catch, and then they hit him. And a flag will go down at the 38-yard line.
Again,
you mentioned earlier, Ken, last week they did this twice.
That is incredible that would happen again. That happened to him twice in succession
Look
last
at Danny
week.
Ford.
Danny Ford has got to be beside himself. Dwayne Walker, the linebacker. They do it again for the third time in 2 ball games. And he's saying to himself, why? How could you do that?
Now, some of the fans are booing, but you don't see any protest from Danny Ford. He is just sick.
Don't invite that guy to a party tonight. He will not be the life of it.
You're right.
Personal foul, dead ball, hitting after the man's made a fair kick. First down.
Now, it wasn't flagrant or anything, but you simply can't touch the guy after he makes a fair catch.
Well, you know, you sometimes...
That's right. Malkowski, quarterback sneak. It looked like someone just dragged him forward inside the 1-yard line. And on defense, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to push him the other way.
That's a little insulting to our defensive line to run a quarterback sneak from the 3-yard line.
And get 2 yards on it. They'll spot it at the 1 where it will be 1st and goal. I want to thank our statistician, Johnny Jones, and our spotter, Ginger Littlejohn, for keeping us up to date on everything here at Death Valley this afternoon.
Wouldn't know what to do without Ginger. She's been here for as long as I've been here.
She's great, isn't she? Under a minute to go, 3rd quarter, 1st and goal, Cavaliers. 3 tight ends in the ballgame. Morgan, no, and a flag is down. Morgan hit by Henry Walls. I don't even think he made the line of scrimmage.
No. And I think this is where the maturing process of Kevin Morgan has to come in play. He's a fullback. He's got to get to that line of scrimmage. He's got to get his body upfield.
Clemson was offside, however. That will make it 1st and goal from about a foot.
You have to be in the neutral territory at that point.
And Danny Ford, again, he has assumed that posture a lot today. Head down, just staring at the ground.
Georgia tell him, take the penalty.
Defense lining up in the neutral zone. We got a 1st down over repeat.
It's the mental mistakes that will kill you. Everybody makes physical mistakes. So Virginia with a break. Now 1st and goal.
You know, this is Dan Ford's 7th year here at Clemson. If you really look at it, he's never had to sweat a losing season at all. He's really never known what it is to coach a losing season.
And I'm sure he didn't want to find out. Morgan, touchdown. Now that time he did what you wanted him to do, Ken Willard, as a fullback. He set sail.
Absolutely, and I think George would say the same thing. Get in that end zone, turn your body upfield. That he can run. He's got a lot of speed. He's 223 to 225 pounds. He's going to be a great football player. He's got to get himself going and stop being tentative at the line of scrimmage.
He's got to be a very happy young man. That's his 1st touchdown. And it puts Virginia on top 23-20. Stadlin is on, trying to make it a 4-point margin. And does. 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And the Cavaliers came back when they had to. Clemson had claimed the momentum.
Now, you don't think this is a big play, but there are all different kinds of ways you can get into the end zone. This is your flat swan dive. You've got to be able to really get up. But a lot of coaches will teach you when you jump to turn your body sideways so that you don't get a flat shot.
There's also a 223-pound swan.
Right.
40 seconds left. Virginia by 4. Back in a moment. It's 24-20. Virginia over Clemson. Understand we had a few technical problems on that drive, but you didn't miss the touchdown or anything. A 45, 46-yard march for the Virginia Cavaliers to take the lead with 40 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and Virginia will kick it away.
Actually, it was fairly boring between those yard lines that they missed.
Stadlin, line drive kick. Ray Williams.
Oh,
Picks it up at the 6. He's in trouble now. And is stopped inside the 15-yard line. Now, when you lose the handle on it, it's either a very poor return or sometimes the coverage team overruns the coverage and you can break along. When that time, it just put Clemson in the hole.
He cannot put his hands on this ball, and you'd like to have a handle on it at this point, but normally, 9 out of 10 times, it's all over, folks, and you're just trying to get back to where you come out decently.
The drive of 47 yards in 8 plays, and very impressive for Virginia. They were in command on that drive to take the lead. Rod Quick, number 36, in the fullback, and he has the ball. And Scott Hillman has him. It's always interesting to see how teams respond to adversity. Once the momentum shifts to the other side, how they can come back.
Now, this is a very crucial series of downs for this Clemson ball club. This is the first time in the second half, or really since the end of the first half, that they've really had to come back, and they have been really controlled the game up until now.
Clemson came into the game at 1-3, and they are not going to try to get a playoff. They're just going to let the third quarter come to an end, which it has. Virginia came in at 3-1, and of course, strong contenders for an ACC championship, their first ever. That's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with more after this from your local ACC station. Ready to start the fourth quarter with Virginia leading Clemson by 4. The Tigers have the ball deep in their own territory, 2nd and 7. Rodney Williams, the freshman quarterback, has Flowers at tailback. Now they snap the ball as one of the Virginia players, Kelly Kalk, looked like he was going to jump offside, and Jeff Litton did something he did in the first half. As soon as he saw that man jump offside, he started to snap the ball to get the 5-yard penalty, but Kalk may have gotten back. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't, and you know, that's a great play by an offensive center. Our center at San Francisco, Forrest Blue, was one of the smarter guys at knowing all the nuances of the game, and you know, you've really got to be alert because that center has to make that decision. He's thinking the count, and all of a sudden when he sees that move, he's got to also snap the ball quickly. That's the call.
Defense, encroachment. 2nd down, repeat.
Now remember, this center is really tense. He's listening, and watch Jeff Litton. He gets the ball up there, and of course, Rodney Williams says, oh my goodness, I've got to run with it now.
Yeah, Rodney Williams says, say what? Trying to go outside with Flowers, and they'll only get a couple. That's got to be a real shock to a quarterback. He's going to go on hut, too, and all once he's got the football.
He's thinking it also, and again, it is a surprise. Kenny Flowers picks up that first down.
Clemson has done a much better job on the ground. This is more what Tiger fans are used to seeing. And Flowers with 12 carries for 69 yards. Stacy Driver, 19 for 87. Here's Williams to throw, and throws near sideline and short, trying to hit Ray Williams, and pretty good coverage out there for Ryan Jackson.
Good coverage. Probably would have had him had he thrown a good ball, but awfully tough throw for a quarterback to consistently be rolling and trying to hit that receiver. Rodney Williams has done an admirable job throwing that football.
Really done better than the statistics,
Absolutely.
I think, Ken. The stats show he's 5 out of 10 for 54 yards. Doesn't look like that much, but I think he's handled himself very well. Here's another score for you. This was the second period score. It's now in the fourth quarter. NC State and Pitt tied at 10. That's being played up in Pittsburgh. This is Flowers on the option and hurdles the last defender to get near the first down. Threw himself at Chris Warren. The freshman cornerback made the tackle right at the sticks.
They sucked that whole side of the Virginia defense in. And you know what I like about a good flanker? Terrence Rulock went out there and he attempted to make a block for his halfback. Give me a receiver who's going to go downfield and try to block. I don't care if he does or not, if he just gets in their face.
One thing about Rulock and also Ray Williams, both of them are good blockers.
They'll make an effort, and that's what you want out of a receiver.
Most guys I know just let him hide a little. 1st and 10. Williams on another roll. Guns this way.
He's gone.
Williams, look out.
They'll never catch him. Oh, look at this.
What a play by Chris Warren, who ran him down, and Ray Williams
cannot believe it.
Who can run, was caught from behind.
Ray Williams cannot believe it. Now, this is a rollout pattern. It's just throwing a basic little hook. But watch Ray Williams once he catches it right in the middle of the Virginia defenders. There's Ferguson coming up, does not react very well at all. Or that's Gould, rather. Now, Ray Williams has got blinding speed. He starts, but this tells you something about the young freshman, Chris Warren. He can run.
That is the first catch of the day for Ray Williams, a 51-yarder, his longest reception of the season. 1st and 10, Clemson at the Virginia 12. Flowers got a chance.
Oh, touchdown. Great run.
Holy cow, what a run by Kenny Flowers.
We've got ourselves a ball game, Mike. Nobody wants to give in to this one. Super run by Kenny Flowers, a junior from Florida. Again, the fastest man on this team. Not only is he fast, he showed some moves.
He carries the ball half the time that he's on the field. And here is Treadwell to try to make it a 3-point lead. It's 26-24 Clemson with 13:45 to go. Regained the lead in a seesaw battle. And I think you've got to give most of the touchdown credit to the freshman quarterback, Rodney Williams, who threw a great pass to set this up.
Just a pitch to Flowers. Now watch the cutout. A lot of missed tackles right there. There's Gould. There's Ryan Jackson. Kenny Flowers does a great job of getting in. We'll see it from ground level. They're coming right at you. That little cut in. Now watch the missed tackle right there. Again by Gould. Now Ryan Jackson. He misses it again. And if they run it back, I think he's going to miss it again.
I do, too. It's a great run. 13:45 to go. Back with more from Death Valley after this from your local ACC station. 13 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the ballgame. Clemson has grabbed a 27-24 advantage over Virginia. Tiger fans have a lot to cheer about. Ken, they've had trouble scoring points, and they're putting them up in bunches today.
Mike, I believe you said this is more points than they scored in their 3 previous ball games.
That's right. They had 23 in the last 3 games combined. They have 27 this afternoon. They've only had 43 points all year coming into this game in 4 games. Otto Rubio will kick it off. That means the chances of a return are slim and none. Warren and Pittman are deep. And Pittman will take it 4 yards deep in the end zone and still bring it out. Gets to the 21. It's a 25-yard return. Boy, Otto Rubio really makes it tough on those return guys.
I tell you, if you could do that every time, you've got a game.
Cardinals holding on to their lead. It's now 4-1, 4th inning over the Dodgers.
Speaking of a game, that should be a great one.
And here we've got an update on the football. North Carolina is just humiliating Wake Forest. It's 34-0 at the half. Must have a passing game going this afternoon.
Now that, I'm sure they're trying to rebound after a very, very disappointing and humiliating defeat at the hands of Georgia Tech.
Game has seesawed back and forth. This is Petty trying to get outside. He's got 7 or 8, maybe 9 yards as he gets up to the 29-yard line. Brought down again by Walls, who has been all over the place today, along with A.J. Johnson.
One factor that I think is really amazing about the Virginia offense, how many turnovers do they have in all of their ball games?
They've only committed 4 coming into this game.
And they have none today.
That's right. Here's South Carolina over Duke, 14-7 at the half. 2nd and 2, Cavaliers. Mikowski. Intercepted. Picked off by Danforth. Kenny Danforth back to the 21-yard line. That is the first interception this year by anyone in the Clemson secondary. There are 2 flags down, however. We'll check them out for you. I think they came after the interception.
They did come after the interception, but I want to remark what a play Don Mikowski made. He threw that ball, ran downfield 15 or 20 yards to take a shot, and I believe he was the one probably clipped.
And the call is a clip. Clemson had 2 interceptions in 4 ball games coming into this one, and Henry Walls, the linebacker, had both of them.
Michael Dean Perry right in the face of Mikowski when he threw that ball. But I just can't help but admire a quarterback who gets involved afterwards and going downfield and trying to make that play.
Call is a clip. It'll move it back to the 47-yard line.
Mikowski's rolling out. Now watch Michael Perry. He gets up in his face. Now the interception is made by Danforth. Now watch Mikowski come downfield.
Clemson with excellent field position at the 47. Stacy Driver really took a shot and then stayed on his feet and got down to the 40-yard line. Eric Clay, number 2, was the first man to hit him, and it knocked Clay's helmet off.
Well, I want to tell you, it was a heck of a hit by Eric Clay, and Stacy Driver may be only 5'8", 180, but look at this hit by Eric Clay. Comes up and nails him. Oh. There goes the helmet, and Driver's still on his feet enough to get 4 more yards.
Somebody get the license plate. 2nd and 3. The Tigers riding high now. Fake to Lancaster, the pitch out to Driver. First down at the 35, call it the 34. Great play by Rodney Williams. When that defensive end crashes like that, you better unload.
Well, he unloads it right at the perfect time, and you can't say enough about how he hesitates, lets that back in front of him, and then gets rid of the ball. It almost looks like the back is going to be upfield, and almost looks like a pass, like they're going upfield with the pitch.
First down, Tigers, 34-yard line. Clock running, 12 minutes to go in the ball game. It's Clemson by 3 over Virginia, 27-24. Driver and Lancaster, the running backs. This is Lancaster. Nothing there this time. Russ Swan was waiting for him, along with number 90, Scott Urch.
Chris Lancaster, for a kid we didn't even have on the roster.
That's right.
He's playing a lot of football.
He was not on the Clemson numerical roster. He was not on the depth chart. He was not on the game roster. Had to find him in the deep recesses of Bob Bradley's press guy. And he's been in there a long time.
And his name was typed after everybody else.
That's right. Williams under pressure. They got him this time. And the sack for Russ Swan, the blitzing linebacker, and Rayotis Perkins, the right tackle. Big play by the Cavalier defense.
They made a great play. Russ Swan in on him quick. Rayotis Perkins also, now he wants to run this pass. It's off the same pitch action. Of course, Swan gets in on a blitz. Now, I think Rodney Williams showed a lot of poise by not trying to throw that football.
I agree 100%. He had both his wide receivers, Ray Williams and Terrence Rulock, going deep, one on each sideline. He did the smart thing and just pulled it there. And there's the Tiger mascot doing push-ups. He may have weak arms this year. Hasn't had much of a chance to work on it. Third down, 14 yards to go. Little screen to the tight end, Riggs. And McDaniel. What a great play by McDaniel to get out there and pick up the tight end on the tight end screen.
I would have...
I'm sorry, that's Mark Balacentis.
Mark Balacentis, but I would have preferred to throw that screen pass to perhaps one of my faster guys, and I'd have to say, Stacy Driver in there, if you got to pick up 15 yards, I'd like to give that a go. I'd like to see him go downfield.
So Newell will have to come in on punt on 4th and 18. Chris Warren goes deep, standing at the 10. He probably won't have a chance to handle this one. Nice high floating kick. This one might die inside the 10-yard line. And just got away from the coverage team. If the ball had bounced straight, it would have been downed by Kenny Danforth, but it took a funny bounce and got away from it. 9:49 left in the game. We'll be back after this. 9 minutes and 49 seconds left to play. Mike Patrick and Ken Willard from Death Valley, Clemson, South Carolina. It's been a beauty so far. Virginia 1st and 10 from the 20. Mikowski gives it to Morgan, his big fullback, and this time he is driving forward for 7 or 8 yards. James Earl and A.J. Johnson make the tackle.
He looks like he's getting the feel of it, doesn't he?
Doesn't he?
He ran that football with a little bit of abandon. Again, this kid's going to be a great football player from Dinwiddie, Virginia. He's got everything, size. Look at this. Look at the spin. He's been used to doing that because he played as a tailback in high school.
They give him a gain of 7 on this one. It's 2nd and 3. Petty. They'll have the first down to the 31-yard line. Again, James Earl on the stop. Morgan rushing this afternoon, 12 for 62. He is the leading Virginia ball carrier. And Clemson has obviously made a conscious decision to try to take the tailback out of this Virginia offense.
Well, they haven't taken the quarterback out of it.
No, they sure haven't. First and 10, Cavaliers. The clock soon becoming a factor. We're down to 8:54. Morgan again, this time absolutely nothing. And Brian Raber, the middle guard, 6'4", 227-pound, 47-pound junior, in on the tackle. Now he's replacing the refrigerator. They said William Perry was only 300 pounds. We might want to question that one a little bit. The Bears said he was a little over 300.
That was before dinner. After dinner, he was 325. But I wanted to, you know, when you've got a great potential runner like Kevin Morgan, yeah, I'd like to see him run from that fullback situation. See how close he is to the line of scrimmage. If we can get a shot of him, he's got no chance to really pick his hole.
Second and 10. Mikowski on that option. Good pitch. This is Petty. Driven out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Good hit by the cornerback, Perry Williams. And a Clemson player is down.
That's Kenny Danforth down after making that hit on Mikowski.
Oh.
Mikowski getting that ball away right at the very last moment. Coming down that line of scrimmage, I don't think many people run the option better than Don Mikowski. Watch him get rid of it right as he knows he's going to get laid into. And of course, Howard Petty can run the football.
And Danforth on that hit was the one that didn't get up. He may have caught a knee.
He really did. He came in low, and he's hurting right now. Of course, they like to keep him still in case there might be a back or neck injury.
Trainers have gotten so good at that. They're going to make sure the player's safety they're looking at. Now we've got the wave going on. And when you got 78,000 people, that is a wave.
It's a tidal wave.
We'll check on Kenny Danforth when we come back to Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina. Right now, there's a timeout on the field with 8:10 left. Clock is running. We're nearing the 8-minute mark. Clemson by 3. Virginia facing 3rd and 3 at their own 37-yard line. They are 7 out of 12 on third down conversions today. Morgan, the fullback, first down, driving forward.
Oh, he looks like a fullback, doesn't he?
Sure does. Keith Williams makes the stop. Check on a couple of scores. Auburn, boy, have they come from behind. They were down, I believe, 14-7, and they are stomping Florida State. And the Gators on top of Tennessee, 17-3. Our director, Jim Dussel, is going to be really happy about that. Mikowski to Petty. Petty, nice hole up the middle. Near midfield. Once again, it was Keith Williams, A.J. Johnson helping him out.
It's a good news, bad news situation. You can march that ball. I think it's amazing. Earlier, I made the remark how few turnovers these people have. 4 coming into this ball game. They have none today. As many times as they let their backs carry the football, and they've held on to the football. Now, again, the bad news is you march up, you got so much of a chance to lose that football, and then so little time left.
This is Vanderbeek into the ball game. Hard running down to the Clemson 42-yard line. That will be another Cavalier first down. Again, the free safety, A.J. Johnson, had to make the tackle.
You think they've got some tools? Here they're running from really the fullback position. As I said earlier, he just does a good job of picking the hole, and he's a big kid, again, getting his first chance to play some football. 214 pounds. Everybody on the Virginia roster as a running back is over 200 pounds of it.
And this is with Antonio Rice injured almost all year. First and 10. The clock ticking down. 6:39 to go. Petty, not this time. And Terrence Mack is in on the stop. We haven't called his name very much at all today.
He hasn't been a factor. He really has not been a factor. In fact, he has taken himself out of a lot of those option plays by coming upfield too quickly. They need him in there.
Playing with a broken hand and an ankle sprain, and the clock ticks down.
Here we are criticizing him. He's playing with a sprained ankle and a broken hand.
Hey, I wouldn't want to broadcast about a broken hand and a sprained ankle. Just sit at home and watch you do it. Nearing 6 minutes, and it's 2nd and 10, Cavaliers. This is a big series. They've used up a lot of time. May have had a little movement. Mikowski on the outfit, and he is whirled down at the 40-yard line. And Mikowski a little slow to get up on this one.
Well, Eldridge Milton made one of the big plays in this ball game, and he looked like a bullet knifing in there. They come in and take Mikowski down, but did a great job. 11 tackles versus BPI earlier in the year. He's had a sprained ankle, and he's been out for 2 weeks, and he's back in there.
This is the biggest play of the game on 3rd and 8 with 5.5 minutes left. Mikowski under pressure. Whoa, sacked him.
Oh, no, he's got to be down.
Now they're going to say he was in the of the receiver as Mikowski tried to throw it away, and he almost got an intentional grounding call on top of it. Would have been the loss of down and the play.
Well, this is obvious that he's trying to get rid of the football. Big rush by Clemson. Again, we see Henry Walls, the 215-pound junior that's back in there playing hard football, and it would have been intentional grounding.
It's his second sack, and Walker is in to punt for the 6th time with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the game. Great defensive stand by Clemson. They almost blocked another punt. Fair catch signaled and made at the 8-yard line. There's a timeout at Death Valley with 4:43 left to go. It's Clemson 27 and Virginia 24.
We made the statement earlier that Terrence Mack had not been much of a factor on defense, but he almost was a huge factor. It looks like the ball went right through his legs. Jeff Walker got that off. Steve Griffin called the fair catch, debating during the timeout whether he really should have, but it was a questionable play, 8-yard line.
Pitch it to Flowers, trying to get outside, and he literally ran over Eric Clay, the safety, who came up to make the tackle. He gets out to the 11-yard line. Big day for Flowers. 15 carries, 94 yards.
Real leadership situation with this quarterback, Rodney Williams. Remember, he's a redshirt freshman. Has started one time in his career, really as punishment for the other quarterback.
He's only in for like 6 plays
only
and
in
out.
for 6 plays. This is a real leadership situation.
2nd and 6. Clemson wants to work the time off the clock. They lead by 3. Flowers again. Got some room to run. Took a real hit as he reached the 17-yard line. Scott Matheson, the nose guard, the first man to get him, really spun him around.
Scott Lageman, Charles McDaniel, watch him step up. Both of them take themselves out of the play, but Lageman comes back and then gets rolled again by Shelton Boyer. It's tough being a linebacker in there. It's a wonder these guys have knees.
Well, Matheson, the nose guard, had the running back around the knees and wouldn't let him maneuver. 3 minutes, 37 seconds, and the clock just ticking away. 3rd and 1. Flowers, no dice. The Cavaliers have held.
What a defensive play. What a defensive play.
And it was Eric Clay, the strong safety, who came up hard to support the run.
Rodney, you're not going to go for a first down at this time in the ball game. He's saying it's only that far. And, you know, you really have to take him aside. He will grow up. Believe it, Mom.
Well, I like his spirit.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's done a tremendous job of leadership. You'd like to see the quarterback be a little bit more mature and understand that this isn't the place to go for it.
Newell will punt. Chris Warren waiting. We're under 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Clemson using all the time they can. He gets rid of it.
He gets a big one.
And a flag is down. They
goodness.
run into the punter. Fair catch at the 35.
I cannot believe it.
And Clemson has finally gotten a break. They are the ones who have made the mistakes all year long. Now Virginia makes maybe the biggest mistake they've made all year.
I believe that is a roughing penalty, not a running into.
It won't matter.
It won't matter. They only needed 3 yards. But why do you go for the kick? In that situation, with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left to go in the ball game, that man knows.
Personal foul, rubbing the kicker on the defensive team. Automatic first down.
All right, we've got Virginia gets the ball back with 2 minutes and 43 seconds. No worse position than their own 40. Now look at the play. Eric Clay trips and falls into him, really trying to hold up.
I'll question the roughing the kicker.
It looked like a running into.
Yeah, he just barely touched him.
And there's George saying the exact same thing.
But the running into the kicker would have given him a first down anyhow.
Well, you're right. It would have been a first down, but that 15 yards hurts.
Now they can work a lot more time off the clock. Virginia has all 3 of its timeouts left, and they're probably going to have to use them. Stacy Driver is back into tailback, Lancaster the fullback. This is Driver. Slithering forward out to the 37-yard line. That's where they'll mark it.
They've got their 3 timeouts left.
That was a gain of about 6.
It's a very good game on that first down situation, and 0 and 24. Does it make a difference, Mike?
I think it does. I think streaks like that always make a difference. The
you know,
players know it.
You just have to get over it and win a ball game. There's no way in the world you can play it down. It is a big thing in the players' minds, but you just got to win a ball game and get through it. It's got to happen sometime. 2nd and 4 with 2:09 left. Driver, again, diving forward. Depending on where they mark it, he looked like he landed just over the 40-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down. But the time coming off the clock, they stop it momentarily with 2:03 to go. Well, I don't think for one moment that Danny Ford's any more comfortable, and I know George Welsh is not comfortable at this point. He's watched a very, very good Cavalier ball club come in here, and now they trail with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the ball game by 3 to a fired-up Clemson ball club.
How about this? Stacy Driver with 109 yards rushing. Flowers with 101. 210 yards out of 2 backs. And the rushing attack as a team averaged 131 yards a game coming into this one.
Well, that's the old Clemson ball club. You see how far they have to go for the first down, and we may not see anybody but Rodney Williams take this.
Big play. Clock is running now under 2 minutes. 3rd and a yard. Lancaster and Driver are the running backs behind Williams. And he'll keep it. He's got very close. Looked like he made it. They're marking it very near the 42, and it is a first down for the Tigers. And now Virginia is going to have to burn all of its timeouts just to stop the clock and hope.
It is a very, very tough situation at this point, and I think you got to call your first one quickly. You're going to lose 30 seconds off of this clock if Clemson will take their time.
We're down to 1:28. The play clock is down to 6 seconds. Clemson has to snap it before then from the 42. Driver, they'd love to get him out of bounds, but he doesn't break play. Puts back in. Stacy Driver into Virginia territory. He may have another first down.
Folks, it's going to be very tough to catch him at this point.
That might be all she wrote.
Stacy Driver looking like he's going to go out of bounds. Hot pursuit by the interior line over there. But finally driven out after a great run.
Very smart play. Got back in bounds, made sure that he was not going to stop the clock for the Cavaliers. It is another first down and 1:02 left. Great job that freshman quarterback Rodney Williams has done for the Tigers this afternoon. Driver wrapped up hard as he tried to go outside. Elton Tolliver really nailed him.
All right, that's their timeout they've just used. Pressure situation on Rodney Williams, coming up, letting that clock run down. It takes a little bit of poise to be calling those signals and make sure that you get the ball off with 2 to 3 seconds left on that time clock.
We want to thank University of Virginia Athletic Director Dick Schultz and Sports Information Director Rich Murray, and for Clemson Athletic Director Bobby Robinson and their SID Bob Bradley for all the help they gave us in getting ready for today's game. Sports Information Directors don't get a lot of credit, and they do a wonderful job throughout the ACC and the rest of the country. It's a lot of hard work, and without people like them, broadcasters like Ken Willard and myself would be in a whole lot of trouble getting ready for ball games.
Now, as we all know, Mike, when you work with Rich Murray and of course, Bob Bradley, who has been here for 31 years, it makes our job so easy, and it's such a delight to come into a stadium that has such great facilities and do a ball game.
Glad you got that right.
We can even sound good.
That's right. And that takes a lot. 46 seconds left in this game. Virginia has 2 timeouts left to stop the clock. One more first down, and Clemson has clinched it. Going for their 25th straight win over the Cavaliers. Virginia has never beaten them. Flowers hanging on to that football like it was gold, and it is. He got to the 40-yard line. Clay made the tackle again. Here are the standings as they were before the game. If things hold the way they are now, Virginia would drop to 2-1. Clemson would come up to 1-1, and we would have a real ACC race.
It is really a question this year from week to week, who's going to play? What kind of teams on the field? We saw a very embarrassing loss to a North Carolina team last week, 31 to nothing, and they were humiliated. They weren't just beaten, they were humiliated. Now they come back And at halftime, we had a halftime score of 34-0 over Wake Forest. Wake Forest, of course, playing Tennessee last week, a very tough ball game.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem that parity is an overused word. And it does seem that parity has been reached within the conference.
Sure does. 38 seconds left. It's 3rd and 2. Virginia with 1 timeout left. To have any chance at all, they must hold here. And I almost hesitate to say this, but Clemson has not fumbled the ball today.
It's a very rough statement. That's like a free throw, isn't it?
That's almost is. And they had turned it over 18 times coming in. Flowers, first down. They knocked him out of bounds, but it won't make any difference. With 34 seconds left, the Tigers have wrapped this one up. South Carolina leading Duke 3rd quarter 21-7. And here's an update on the North Carolina score now in the 3rd quarter, 34-0 over Wake Forest. Boy, I thought the Deacons would really make a game out of that after the way they played.
They play Carolina very tough. They play North Carolina very tough tradition.
First down, Tigers. And Williams will just go down on the ground. Virginia with 1 timeout left, and they'll use it with 30 seconds to go. And all Williams is going to have to do is fall down once more, maybe twice.
And I think you'll see that play. I don't think that's. I think that's the play you want to see at this time in the ball game. You know, George Welch, this is his 4th year at Virginia. If ever there was a time when you would think that this Virginia ball club would have a chance to end this streak, this would have been the year. You start wondering, when does it end?
And no, it's the longest winning streak that one major school has over another in the country. This will make it 25 straight. And as we talked about in the opening of the ball game, the coaches continue to say it doesn't make any difference. But I don't believe that. I think it's something they have to say. And I think it really does make a big difference. And Pitt has come back to take a 14-point lead over North Carolina State.
Well, it does make a lot of difference. These kids, of course, read. They listen to the media. You'd like to think they don't, but they pay attention.
Certainly. Second down, and Williams will just go to the ground. And that'll do it. Clemson will not have to get off another play. And the underdog Tigers, after losing 3 straight at Death Valley, something that happens about once every 20 years, are going to break that losing streak and knock off the Virginia Cavaliers 27-24, the 25th straight time that they have met them and the 25th straight time that they have beaten them.
You've got some happy fans. I don't like to see these fans on the field. I know they're excited and they're happy. It makes me nervous. I never liked it. I know the ball players don't like it.
Well, for homecoming, you couldn't have written a better script for the Clemson Tigers to come from behind and beat a very good Virginia football team. And it makes me think of what George Welch said in the opening of the ball game, where he said, I don't like the fact that they have lost these 3 ball games. It's the same situation as the Navy game, when Navy was down, and we got to go play them when they're mad. And you don't get people mad that have talent like that.
Well, you start wondering, here Virginia has probably their finest team they've had in quite some time. And it seems like every big game they come into, their opposing team has an emotional factor in their favor. Now, is that going to go on for the rest of the year? Or, you know, I think they're beginning to get to the point where they'd like to come in where a team has won a few ball games, because this is a good Virginia ball club. And Clemson today played very well.
Biggest statistic possibly in the rushing game. Clemson had averaged only 131 yards a game on the ground. Very uncharacteristic for the Tigers. Today they had 274 yards. Driver had 120 on 25 carries. Flowers had 111 on 19 carries. And that's what Clemson fans have come to expect over the years.
This has been traditional Clemson football, using that tailback and getting a lot of production out of them. Of course, you know, what we had earlier, Clemson shut down the 2 tailbacks. Petty and Word, they shut them down. But does it make any difference when you had Mikowski picking up yardage in wholesale amounts? Kevin Morgan had a good ball game. Their fullbacks played well today. You know, their ground game really wasn't that hurt. I thought they ran the option very well. 2 or 3 big plays, and the game started to turn. The game started to turn in the end of the first half when that Clemson defense started to come alive and play.
Trying to get Clemson coach Danny Ford wired up down on the sideline. Let's check in and see if you can hear us. Coach, can you hear us up here in the booth?
I can barely hear you a little bit, yes, sir.
Okay, first, congratulations, Coach, on a great win, come-from-behind win over Virginia. Your running game really turned around today. Both Driver and Flowers ran very well for you.
Well, we were very pleased with our offensive line today. They did a good job. We felt like we had to get back to running the football and get away from drop back throwing a little bit, and our guys did a super job, and we're real proud of them. We got a long way to go, of course, to be a good football team, but Virginia was a very good offensive football team, and both defenses need to pick it up a little bit.
Coach, this is Ken Willard. I thought that the turning point in this ball game came at the end of the first half when your defensive ball club took over and started playing really well or with abandon. Do you agree?
I think so, Ken. I think our defense played a lot better there in stopping them there, and we really liked to mess the football game up when we intercepted the pass in the fourth quarter and threw a play-action protection, and it broke down, and they threw us for a loss. That was dangerous, and we were careful not to get points there. We could have got beat, but our guys did a good job. Our defense came back and stopped them. Then we were lucky to get the roughing the punter penalty and win the football game.
Danny, I think you would be really pleased with your freshman quarterback, Rodney Williams. I know you wanted to get some leadership out of somebody, and he really seemed to give you that today.
Well, I think we helped Rodney quite a bit, and Rodney helped our football team, and I'm not sure that Randy couldn't have done it either, because we simplified our offense something terribly, and we didn't have very much in the halftime. We didn't have any adjustments because we didn't have but 4 or 5 plays to run, and our passing game was very simple. So he did a super job. We're real proud of the freshman Williams, and it was a good win for us. We're very happy to have it.
And Coach, I think it's time for you to write that book, How to Coach to Keep Your Team from Having Fumbles and Miscues, because whatever you did this past week, it worked.
Well, maybe they're growing up a little bit. We're very proud of them, and we appreciate y'all coverage, and hope the people saw a good football game.
They did that, Danny. Congratulations to you this afternoon. Good luck for the rest of the year.
Thank you, sir.
And the final score, 27-24. Clemson will be back with more after this word from your local ACC stations. Couple of stars of the ball game for the Clemson Tigers. Freshman quarterback Rodney Williams and senior tailback Stacy Driver. Driver with 120 yards rushing today on 20 carries. And Stacy, you're down there all wired up. Congratulations on a win. A very big day for you running.
Well, and they created a lot of holes, and I just ran where they made the holes at.
Stacy, you had tremendous balance, and you know you've had that throughout your career. Was there anything different coming in against this Virginia ball club that you guys thought you could do against this defense that you had not done previously this year?
No, we just really got back to basics all week, and we figured that we could run at them and run the sweep and the draw and the isolation, and if we could do that successfully, we could win the ball game.
Well, Stacy, congratulations on a fine ball game. If you would give that earpiece and the microphone to your young quarterback over there, I'd like to ask him a question and see what he thought of today's game as Clemson comes back to win. We'll get the quarterback Rodney Williams wired up here in a second. Once again, Stacy Driver with 120 yards and Flowers with 111 yards. Rodney Williams, can you hear us down there on the sideline?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on a fine ball game. What was it like for you to start this one and know you were going to play most, if not all, of the game?
It was a dream come true. I've always wanted to start for Clemson, and I finally did. And Coach decided he was going to lead me in, see how I play, and see if I could handle the pressure. And yeah.
Rodney, I want to ask you a question. Probably the worst question I could ask you. This is Ken Willard. I want to ask you, at the end of that first half, you had those 2 passes in the end zone. Did you throw it too hard, too high, or did you have it blocked? Was your vision blocked?
Well, the pattern is for a longer pass with more air under, but I thought the defensive back was coming over, so I tried to throw a little harder, and I just overthrew Jim. And on the first series, I underthrew Shelton a little bit, waited a little long. But the offensive line was giving me plenty of time today, and I believe that's what helped us out a lot.
I thought you threw real well, and I thought you hit your outside receivers, especially on the turn-ins, especially well. You looked poised, and you looked like you had control of the ball game.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What do you think the future of this Clemson Tiger team is the rest of the year now that you've turned around a 1-3 start?
I think, you know, all along out of practice, you know, we've had good practices, and we knew we were a better team than we were out here playing. Coach Ford has said we're a better practice team than game team because we've had a couple of turnovers because we're young and we're trying to do a little too much. And I believe this game right here helped us out a whole lot, get our confidence back. And